Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I have a very special replay for you guys. You see, a couple of weeks ago on stream, we were discussing some of the absolute worst ships in the game. And of course, that brought up a couple of usual ships like the Tiger 59 and the Yukon. And also what was brought up on stream was about a month or so ago on stream, I attempted to get an over 100,000 damage game in the Tiger 59, and well, that did not manifest itself. And then we got on the subject of the Yukon, and I made the very wise decision to issue the following challenge. If anyone can get a 200,000 damage game with a couple of kills in the Yukon, I would feature it here on the channel, because I simply did not believe it was possible. Well, today we have a Yukon game featuring the driver RJ, who is a fellow member of TSOF, and he was one of the many members of TSOF that took up the challenge. And let me tell y'all, they were a very determined lot. They had developed their own build for the Yukon. They were trying to devise different strategies and such, even divvying up, trying to get the best results possible. This went on for 2 weeks. These gentlemen lost IQ points trying to do this. And, well, here we are today. So let's see what happens here with RJ's Yukon. Now, he is running a pretty interesting build on the Yukon. He's got the Furious Wombo combo that we have going on with the St. Vincent that we talked about some time ago. So when he catches on fire, he gets an additional buff to his reload time. He's also running heavy AP as well to get a boost to his AP damage at the cost of extending the fire duration. But that's fine because, well, Furious is a thing, and again, the longer he's on fire, not the longer he's on fire, but as he's on fire, he will get a boost to his reload time. Now, you might be wondering, Sealord, what makes the Yukon so bad in the first place? Well, take a Monarch, a ship that already wasn't considered to be a great ship before her recent buff, down tier to tier 7, so you lose the 32mm stern and bow plating, and then give her a longer reload time on her guns, yet a shorter range and less accuracy, and that's the gist of a Yukon. First salvo out on was at the Omaha. He does have HE loaded, which, I mean, with the Monarch guns, that's not a terrible idea, but the big thing about the Yukon is that you have 9 15-inch guns at tier 7. Those are still pretty large guns by tier 7 standards, and you get 9 of them. But again, you did lose the good reload time of the Monarch when the ship got down tiered, and she has, I think, like a 33 second base reload time. We should find out here in a second. That's a broadside Trino there, and yep, 31-second reload time. Lets it rip on a broadside Trento. That should be pretty good, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, pretty good salvo there, 11k on the Trento. He's meandering over here to the C cap. Now, the typical thing about the Yukon is that she has actually pretty good concealment for her tier. So if you build into it, I mean, yeah, she'd be pretty stealthy and walk up to enemy ships and blap them with her 15-inch AP shells. And she does get a super heal on top of all that, which is why you can run a build like the Furious build and get away with it for a little bit. Ooh, lovely salvo there on the Omaha. Removes him from existence. His first dev strike of the match. I don't know if he gets multiple dev strikes. All he told me is that it's a 200k game. Alright. So, I mean, yeah, Omahas. Things that Battleship players absolutely love to see is broadside Omahas, or even angled Omahas. Because, again, 15-inch guns at tier 7. Quite mighty, indeed. Alright, so with his first kill under his belt, he's got New Mexico over there, along with a Sinop. Now, that's a fearsome thing for the Monarch, well, sorry, for the Yukon to see, because, again, it's got the thinner bow and hull plating to where those 6-inch guns can go right through them. But he delivers 3 pins to the Monarch's face, bringing him up to 51,000 damage so far. So I think he's about to just turn this corner here. I think he might be about to just go full tilt into these 1, 2, 3, 4 enemy ships. He's slowing down. Okay, is he going to play a little bit of peekaboo behind this island? Alright, goes full reverse. He has a Nagato there. Very lovely profile on this Nagato. He's turning out too, giving him more side to shoot at. Lets that salvo go. Enemy Mahan and Trento go down. And 4,000 damage. Damage is damage again, you know, when you're trying to get the 200k. Because I just made a, an aside on stream about this thing. You want all the damage you can get. Scharnhorst 43 is turning around. They have a pretty good little group over here, the friendly team does. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships over here. 6 if you include RJ. Alright, 4 turrets out on the Nagato. And the Nagato, ooh, eats that for 8,400 damage. Not sure what the Nagato's doing, but I don't think aiming is one of them. Ooh, that whoever fired that, so I think there was a Shards 43. That was absolutely just whiffed by RNG. Just a broadside Nagato 11 kilometers away from. Nothing about the Yukon 2s that the main battery guns aren't all that accurate, which is absolutely infuriating, especially when you do get close up to the enemy ships. Okay, 4-2 turrets out of the Nagato again, and again 2 shells out of 6 hit. So yeah, Nagato manages to hit RJ now. Charles 43 also coming around the corner, adding his guns into the fray. And Charles 43, her guns are small enough for the Yukon's armor to bounce. Man, broadside Nagato, and RNG just has not been cooperating with RJ here. Alright, let's see again. Will RNG be kind or evil? That looked a little bit better than the dispersion coming out of those barrels. And, yeah, there you go. 13k to the Nagato. The Nagato does score some shots on RJ. Charles clips his superstructure there. RJ pops his super heal. Believe he's just going to go... Oh, yes, because the Synop's right there. Okay. Not sure if I would have popped it right there. I mean, if he's going to pull out in front of the Synop, that's not the most terrible idea. Hello, Mr. Synop. How is your day going, sir? I think there was a premature heal there from RJ. 4,200 to the Synop's front. Synop does have an icebreaker bow, but his bow armor is, I believe, 27 millimeters thin. But it does have the, the usual Soviet icebreaker bow. Now, the thing about the Synop 2, as we discussed in Monday's video, is that while it is incredibly tough from the bow, its side is very, very squishy. So if you can get around to it, you can very easily murder the Synop. See, I thought he was going to do this. We were going to walk in front of the Synop and those other ships, which is why he was preemptively popping his super heal. But, oof, see, 16-inch guns do hurt. But I'm guessing he just was a little over-enthusiastic about it. Alright, so let's see. He's going to get the drive-by here on the Synop. He's got 15 seconds till his guns do reload. Synop turning in, attempting to ram. RJ turning out. Looks like he will just slide on by. His rear turret should be able to get off on the Synop side here. Yes, indeed, which should hurt the Synop quite a bit. Let's see what happens. Just pins! Oh, that's painful. However, the stern's also pretty squishy, too. There we go. There's Furious being activated. He does pop his super heal there. And, well, some of that bounces, but he does get some good purchase on the Synop's armor. And the Synop going broadside now. See, when you do drive-bys, you don't want to do this circling each other thing because it reveals your broadside. But I guess if you're going up against the Yukon with terrible dispersion, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, some of these have to Citadel. He is down to 6,000 HP at this moment, so there we go. Kill number 2 for RJ, up to 134,000 damage. Already an excellent Yukon game at this moment. Okay, so now he's got a Nagato left and another Charter's coming up. And he's still got about 70,000 damage to go in order to complete the challenge. And the Nagato only has 7,000 HP, and I think the Scharnhorst is at like half, so he's got to come up with some more HP here in the meantime. And again, look at that dispersion. It's just golly. Now, again, it is 15-inch shells, so when they do connect like that, it is pretty nice. But again, you got to get them to connect. There you go. Nagato does go down. Oh, Scharnhorst, she's a lot healthier than I thought. And he's got torpedoes on the way as well. Looks like he's going to dodge most of those. Might eat the third one there. Yeah, he's going to eat the third one. Alright, instantly damage cons. That's 7 seconds left on his super heal. Gets his rear turret out into the Scharnhorst. Was supposed to go into his upper belt, but goes into superstructure because once again dispersion rears its head. Gets number 1 and number 2 turrets out. Gets his super heal going. And again, dispersion is not his friend. But it does look like that Scharnhorst is about to beach on that island if he doesn't change his course. If he has to change his course, he has to show RJ more broadside, which will allow him to Get that nice juicy side going. Alright. Furious is activated. He's got a buff to his reload time right now. A 10% buff to his reload time. There you go. High caliber for RJ. And again, his dispersion is just being absolutely abysmal. He's getting hits, but again, they're not going where he wants them to go, right? Got a hood off in the distance as well. Someone is third partying his Scharnhorst farm. So that's a Leon off in the distance. Scharnhorst coming back in for another drive-by at RJ. He's turning out a little bit, aiming for his bow upper-ish armor area. And let's see. Bounces. More bounces, but he does manage to nab a couple of pins. And there's the second round of torpedoes from the Scharnhorst, but he completely whiffs those. And the secondaries on the Yukon actually starting a fire on the Scharnhorst. That's pretty good. And, oh, I thought he was going to get it with his fire, but no. Okay, 178,000 damage. He's about 20,000 more damage before he completes his mission. There's a hood off in the distance. Pops a spotter to get range on the hood. It's the front two guns out. Now keep in mind, the Yukon's base range is like 15 kilometers, which is absolutely terrible by tier 7 standards. Get some pins on the hood through the front, brings him up to 188,000 damage. Moving to get that third turret into position. He only has 3 ships left alive on the enemy team, and man, the enemy team's down to 53 points. So if one of these ships goes down, that's going to put him pretty close to the match ending. There's still a destroyer around that's probably about to get murdered. 193,000 damage, very close to the 200k mark. He also has a ranger right in front of him too. Alright, pops his hill. Oh, there's Confederate too. I didn't even notice he got that. Hood is showing him a beautiful broadside, but the Hood is also getting his guns trained on him. Hood launches his broadside. RJ gets his broadside out, and Hood guns hurt. Shells say, hey, 202,000 damage. Mission complete, RJ. But the match is not over. There's still more ships to sink and more damage to be farmed. Although it looks like that Ranger is going to go down here very quickly. So, it's pretty ironic that he's farming damage off of a Hood. Alright, Hood's got a nice chunky superstructure to farm too. He's been using primarily AP throughout this match as well. I mean, again, when you're top tier, you're tier 7, you can overmatch the armor. You definitely want to do that. Now, Ranger, you could probably one-tap Ranger right now. I'm surprised he hasn't been doing that, because Ranger has a notoriously terrible armor scheme. If you could get the shells to land right beneath the smokestacks, you pretty much will Citadel the Ranger. Oh no! Oh no, 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 not an end to the story! Gets one last salvo off on the Ranger. Gets taken out by the Vince torpedoes. And let's see, does he sink the Ranger? No, but he does finish with 216,000 damage after being cut short by the vent there. Very, 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 very sad, but also he did get it done. So 216,000 damage, 2 kills, Confederate, Dev Strike, high caliber. The mission has been fulfilled, RJ. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it is possible. Maybe Yukon isn't as bad as I thought it is, but I'm still probably not going to be playing too much of it. So, RJ, there's your feature on the channel for completing your assignment, good sir. There's also several others that took up the mantle of attempting to prove me wrong about the Yukon. One went so hard, he in fact is, I believe, number 2 on the Yukon leaderboards for North America now, but he never got a 200,000 damage game, but I think his average damage was like 100,000 and something, so that was Mr. Pickles there. And, I mean, yeah, all of you can now rest and be at ease that the mission has been accomplished. So if you have any other goofy replays or anything like this, having a terrible ship do extremely well, you can feel free to send them into the email linked down below. Hope you all have a wonderful Thursday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.